So if you've probably read the title by now, you're probably wondering, what do I mean by when I say self-improvement is cringe or it's ruining your life? And it all starts from the film Fight Club. So I'm going to show you this scene right here.
I felt sorry for guys packed into gyms, trying to look like how Calvin Klein or Tommy Hilfiger said they should.
That what a man looks like?
Self-improvement is masturbation. Now self-destruction.
Self-improvement is nothing but a feel-good factor in the moment, and it's not actually improving your life. It's something that you think that you're actually moving forward in life, but you actually aren't. Self-improvement is a coping mechanism and isn't actually helping you in your life. It's a cover-up for the deeper problems and the deeper holes in your life that you actually need to fix. You know, I'll give you an example. One of the biggest pillars of self-improvement is monk mode, right? I have to say, bro, monk mode is the cringiest thing I think I've ever seen young men doing, because you're sitting indoors all day, every single day for a long time, for months and months and months on end, and you think that you're grinding and you think that you're working hard, but all it's really doing is just turning you into a nerd, a loser. It's turning you into a weird person. And I've learned this in my life as well. I went on monk mode for a good few months, and whenever I went out into the world again, it actually made me worse. It made me very weird to talk to, because I was talking about these things like monk mode and looks maxing and all this here sort of crap, and like whenever you talk to people who like don't go on the internet all day, who aren't chronically online, they look at you so weird. Like they just don't understand a word you're saying, and they just think that you're some sort of strange person. But you think that you're, you know what I mean, and you think that you're actually improving yourself and that you're actually moving forward, and in reality it's just making you worse. All it really is, it's a load of influencers, right, who like to masturbate their minds pretty much, and they like to talk and big themselves up and say things like, oh, I went on monk mode and I was in the shadows and I was lurking away and I was working hard. But in reality, bro, like once you actually do that, it doesn't nowhere, you do not get the results that these people tell you that you're going to get. And a lot of us end up going down dark paths, like buying courses and buying these communities of these people, and the information they actually teach doesn't actually improve your life at all. You know, meditation, gratitude journaling, all that there sort of stuff, if you're on self-improvement and you're doing that, it's not improving your life. It's so cringe, man. And I'm not saying meditation and gratitude journaling and things like that there aren't actually good for you, because they are. But my point is the reason for doing them. It's just because you think that whenever you're meditating and in the moment you think that you're improving your life, when in reality you still suck with girls. You can't make eye contact with people. You still have a poor relationship with your mom and dad. And these things aren't things that you're actually fixing. You're also broke. You don't have a job, or you're working a job that you don't like. And these are problems, core fundamental problems that you're not fixing in your life. But instead you go off and you look smacks and you mew. Like, oh my god, mewing, man, is the most cringiest thing. Gratitude journal and you meditate, because you think that by doing that, that will turn you into, you know, top 1% alpha male. This is the reason why we're all so lost, you know, in this social media generation. Because we're all so desperate to just find a masculine influence in our life. So we latch on to anyone and anything who tells us what we want to hear, not what we need to hear. You know, you look at people like the Andrew Tates and the Hamzas of the world, who, you know, these were the people in our lives who give us that helping hand whenever the world rejected us and whenever the world told us that we were worthless. Hamza and Andrew Tate and all these other self-improvement influencers, you know, they extended their hand for and give us a helping hand through life. But there comes a point where you have to stop listening to these people, and you have to stop listening to all that crap and actually genuinely improve. So how do you do that? Well, for me personally, in my own experience in life, is once I just started just being authentic to who I am, just started having life experience. When you start living out into the real world and spending less time on social media, you find out who you are, you find out what you like, you find out what motivates you, you find out what you want to do with your life, and it's authentic towards you. And it may be something that Andrew Tate or Hamza disagrees with, and you need to stop being such a sheep and stop, like, you know, listening to every word they say as gospel. Of course, listen to the information they tell you, of course, because some of the information is good, but make your own mind up. Think of yourself as an individual. So, the scene that I showed you there about in Fight Club, it's the scene where Tyler Durden is saying self-improvement is masturbation. And then he says after that, but self-destruction. So, if you guys don't know, self-destruction, I always like saying it's like the evil brother of self-improvement. Self-destruction is where you pretty much let go of everything. There's another scene in Fight Club, right, where Tyler Durden says that the things you own end up owning you. So, you having a phone, you having a nice warm bed, there's so much things that you own that actually own you, because you can't live without them. And because of that, that holds your masculinity back. It holds you from being a man. It stops you from fulfilling your purpose as a man. And social media is something that owns all of us. It has a chokehold over our necks all the time, because we have to be on social media all the time. We have to see what other people are doing. We have to, we have to see, what advice, or we have to listen to some, pretend wannabe alpha male screaming down the video, the screen, telling us that we're degenerate pussies. And reality, it's holding you back. We have to listen, video games as well is another example of something that has a huge hold over us as men. It distracts us, it holds us back. Even people like Andrew Tate and the Hamzas of the world, they hold us back, they distract us from our true purpose, because they're living their life, they're fulfilling their dreams and their purpose, right? And we're just watching them like, scrawny little weirdos. You have to get out there and you have to live your life. You have to experience the world for yourself. And you're going to end up doing things that people online are just going to disagree with. But in reality, bro, anything you do, people are just not going to agree with. And that doesn't matter. Who gives a crap? And self-destruction is about letting go of all of those things. If any of you seen the film, there's a scene where the narrator's apartment gets blown up. And that pretty much symbolizes the destruction of the things that were holding him back in life. So the apartment gets blown up because that apartment was kind of like a comfort zone. Whenever life was really shit, he'd go back to his apartment and he would focus. It was kind of like his little comfort zone. And the narrative of the film is telling us that comfort, our comfort zone, is what's destroying our life. If you live your life inside of your comfort zone, you will never be successful. You will never be happy. You constantly have to do things that are outside of your comfort zone, because that's what helps you to evolve and grow as a man. Going out and approaching that cute girl, going out and, trying to, going out and learning a skill that, that you had a fear of. If you're somebody who, going out and applying for a certain job or working towards a certain career or studying for that exam, whatever it is, something that makes you feel uncomfortable and makes you step out of your comfort zone. Those are things that will massively improve your life. That's actually self-improvement. It's the destruction of comfort. It's the destruction of your comfort zone. And if you're somebody who listens to all this self-improvement crap, it teaches you to do things that aren't outside your comfort zone. Because most men don't do it, bro. Most men don't go out and approach women, even though that we all want to do it. But instead we cope and we meditate and we think that doing all these things are actually going to, make us somehow, capable in life, when it actually doesn't. Stop listening to these people. Stop listening to all these self-improvement YouTubers. Stop going down the whole route of self-improvement, because the only people who are actually self-improving are the influencers that you're watching, who are getting rich off your views. So stop watching these people. Go out into the world. Take those lessons, of course. Hit the gym, get in shape and stuff like that there. But what works for some people will be different for others. Not everything works for everybody. And that's why you have to go out and you have to experience these things. I've started to go on my phone less. I've started to use my phone less. I've started to stop playing video games. I've stopped doing these things that have such a chokehold over me, that have a control over me. And once you do that, that's whenever you're truly free. There's a quote in the film that says, once you've lost everything, you have the freedom to do anything. Because if you really think about that, once you've hit rock bottom and you no longer have any possession over things that actually own you, what direction can you go? If you've hit rock bottom or your back's against the wall, the only direction you can go is forward. Or if you've hit rock bottom, the only direction you can go is up. So when you've lost everything, all those things that own you, social media, your phone, video games, your gaming console, your, whatever, once you get rid of those things, that's whenever you actually start, like, genuinely improving. Because you realize what matters in the world and what doesn't. I really hope someone who's listening to this can actually really take this advice. Funny enough, like, I love getting views. I love whenever I get video that does pretty well. But, like, I would much rather you watch this one video and go off social media and never watch my videos again, because I know that you're actually going to be going out there and you're actually going to be improving your life. Don't waste your time looking back, bro. We're not going that way.